84% of executives believe AI can transform their business, increase their productivity, but only 3% of them actually know how to do that, actually see real productivity gain. Again, this goes back to knowledge work is really fragmented because the contexts are all in different places, so people actually cannot deploy AI accurately.
Your company was founded back in 2013, and AI has really helped the growth story really surge in the last couple of years. Can you tell us about how you founded the company?
Yeah, give you a quick introduction. Notion is an all-in-one productivity software powered by AI. We start to solve the problem of there are too many tools at workplace. Knowledge and workflow are fragmented. So that's why we started a company to give people all in one place to do their work. In the past few years, turns out this is also really great for AI because when context and work are fragmented, it's really hard for AI to deploy AI in your workplace. So now Notion is all in one workplace for human and for AI to work together.
What gave you the idea more than 10 years ago?
There's just too many software at work. When you look at it, when tools are so fragmented, people lose their productivity. And I was a software engineer and designer. Putting my designer's hat on, it's just very inefficient, right? All the tools share the same building blocks, but people have this switching between context between so many different tools. So the initial insight for Notion is, why don't we just deconstruct those common SaaS tools back to their original building blocks and give our end user those building blocks? The building blocks such as document editing, making comments, create relational database to keep track of things they care about, such as tasks and issue tracking. And so allow our end user customer to be creative with the tools they use every day and have one unified place to do their work.
Well, your business is growing very quickly in the US. Why is Australia on your radar?
It's growing fast here too. Actually, this morning when we just landed, I checked how many users we have here. Turns out 10% of Sydney are actually active Notion users. This is more than I expected. So this is a sizable business. That's why I opened an office, officially opened an office this year. Now I have 25 people in Sydney.
When it comes to how the agentic AI works in the product behind the scenes for users, can you give us an explanation of that? Because whilst you have a big user base, not everyone uses it. How does it work?
Yeah. In order for agent to work agentically, just another fancy word that language model AI can do work on your behalf autonomously, it really requires two things. One thing, it needs the context. So another fancy word to say data. The problem with the classic tools with AI is all the data are fragmented. So Notion will have the advantage of all the data in one place. Second, it needs all the UI and workflow to be in one place as well, and to be enterprise grade, to be collaborative from default. And Notion will support all different kind of workflow already before AI. Now you can just plug in the language model AI and work automatically and give the agentic power for all the Notion users.
We've seen headline news in Australia with large language models having errors. There's one, particular case of AI errors in a Deloitte report prepared for the Australian government. How can you assure users that agentic AI won't make errors in the background?
It's getting better and better. One reason it makes error because it hallucinates, and especially a thing in the past. But what you can prevent hallucinating is grounded back to your business logic, business context. That's actually what Notion solves. Notion brings all the different business context for you that you care about, from your knowledge, from your task, from your customer CRM into one place, and give that to your agent, to your AI. And AI can make sense based on what's really happening in your business, rather than just make things up from out of thin air.
So what are the guardrails to ensure that it doesn't make things up from thin air?
It needs to be rooted based on the customer system record, their truth, and that's where the context come from. And we do a lot of mapping of your permissions, of is that actually accurate, to double check before we give an answer for our customers. So for example, one of the most popular feature is this called enterprise search. So whatever question you have about your business, whether live in your knowledge base, live in your Microsoft team, or live in your Slack or in your email, you can ask Notion AI, and Notion will give you the answer. Actually, the AI lab, OpenAI, is a Notion customer, right? They hired thousands of people last year. When those new people join OpenAI, first thing they go is ask Notion AI, what are the company policy, how to do certain things, and Notion give the answer from all different sources. and really speed up onboarding of employees.
There's a big debate in Australia at the moment around productivity. It's obviously very low here, and AI is the big hope. Do you see agentic AI as simply enhancing productivity, or will there be job losses as a result, or is it not an either or?
Yeah, I think we're really early with this. And I like to reference the Harvard Business Review recently is 84% of executives believe AI can transform their business, increase their productivity. But only 3% of them actually know how to do that, actually see real productivity gain. Again, this goes back to knowledge work is really fragmented because the contexts are all in different places. So people actually cannot deploy AI accurately, efficiently. And this is the problem, actually the precise problem we solve at Notion. And we believe it's enable a lot of small teams to run much faster and be more efficient and compete with larger players, and opens a lot of doors for many different companies.
What about entry-level work? Some of the stuff that Notion does would have typically been done by entry-level workers. Does that mean that organizations don't have those rungs at the bottom anymore if they start using this type of software?
We like to remove some of the busy work. For give you another popular product inside Notion AI suite is AI meeting notes. So before, when you do a meeting, someone has to manually take meeting notes, and nobody loves to do this. Right now, you can just use Notion, and the AI product can automatically take notes for you and have a perfect summary. And the summary lives with a knowledge base, and other people can find it with our enterprise search product. And this is the type of busy work we consider is good for AI to do for you. Nobody loves to do it. And it's freed up people the time to be more present in the meetings and they have time to do other things.
How do you see agentic AI boosting productivity over the next 5 years? What's your view on what those tools are going to do?
Yeah, I like to paint the vision of it elevates a normal knowledge worker to become more like a manager. To give you one example, you already can see this in the coding space. Before, programmer has to manually type all the if statement, all the code. Now, more and more programmer become a manager, can tell coding agents to do their first pass of work for them. So engineer can 5x their output if they just manage these coding agents correctly. So become a coder to a manager. We're gonna see this using product like Notion and others to allow more people become like a manager for knowledge work, amplify their output.
And more broadly, where do you see AI going in society, in the tech space, in business, in the future? Are we just at the start?
I think we're quite early in the start. Akin to industrial revolution, right? Before manual labor, it's how do you construct everything in the world. Then we have steam, we have coal, we have electricity, we have steels, and the scale and the speed of work can be done in the physical space really magnified. We're going through the same thing through knowledge work. The work that can be put through by a small team of people gonna magnify through product like Notion and other AI products. We're quite early with it.
Now, in terms of your company, you've obviously grown quite rapidly. Do you see yourself as a takeover target? Are you planning to raise capital? Could you list? What's the future plan for Notion?
Yeah, our company has been cash flow positive, profitable for quite a few years now. We're at a public company scale. We're operating like a public company, but we can save that for another conversation for going public.
So it's not quite on the radar yet, but perhaps in the future.
Perhaps in the future.
Ivan Zhao, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.